Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Wednesday, December 4th. I'm your host, Kristen Stewart. The marine layer has made a return due to a weak area of low pressure moving into the region. It is shallow, however, as high pressure remains in control, so low clouds are limited to the coastal plains of the south coast and a little into the central coast. There are also a few areas of dense tule fog in the San Joaquin Valley. These clouds should clear nicely later this morning and will be in for a wonderful sunny day. Today is going to be a fabulous weather day once the low clouds clear up later this morning. We will see very mild temperatures for December, with highs in the mid-60s to low 70s for the valleys. Some of the warmer Southern California valleys may even reach into the mid-70s. Winds will also remain very light across the board, with just some localized breezy offshore winds in the higher terrain. Very similar conditions are expected on Thursday. As we look forward into the forecast, mostly uneventful weather continues to be the theme through the rest of the week. We remain stuck in this persistent pattern with high pressure over much of the west and weak low pressure trapped to the south of it that has been bringing very calm and mild weather. As we get into Friday and Saturday, high pressure will begin to strengthen a little over the west, and the pesky weak low pressure area will move into northwest Mexico. This will bring some more warming to the region, as well as a slight uptick in offshore winds, but no significant weather is expected. Let's first talk about winds. The low pressure area moving to our southeast will lead to an increase in offshore pressure gradients and a slight increase in upper level wind support for Southern California. Both of these factors are rather weak as compared to earlier Santa Ana wind events this season, so we are not expecting a whole lot of wind to come from this. Model projections are in good agreement that on Friday, northeast winds of 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts to 35 miles an hour will likely develop across the favored canyons and ridges of Southern California. Local gusts to 45 miles an hour are possible for wind-favored areas. These winds will then weaken on Saturday as the pressure gradients and upper support weaken. Now let's talk humidity. Conditions on Friday and Saturday will be dry, but not exceptionally so. For the wind-prone areas of Southern California, minimum humidity will generally be in the teens to around 20%. Some more wind-prone areas may even lower into the single digits, especially on Saturday, but then winds will be lighter. Humidity will remain much higher across Central California. As a result of these dry conditions and breezy offshore winds, elevated fire weather conditions are expected for much of Southern California on Friday and Saturday. Locally brief critical conditions are possible for the breezier spots in the higher terrain. The light offshore flow will bring some additional warming to the region on Friday, with highs rising into the upper 70s to low 80s in the warmest Southern California valleys. Temperatures will stay steady into Saturday. The weather pattern finally changes temporarily late this weekend into early next week as an inside slider trough is slated to trek through the Great Basin and desert Southwest that will bring another round of cooling along with another surge of offshore winds. However, this will be mostly short-lived as high pressure rebounds by mid-next week. There remains plenty of uncertainty in the forecast as we get into early next week, as the exact track of these inside sliders tend to be tricky to pin down, so confidence is moderate at best at this time. Current model projections continue to favor the chance for a moderate Santa Ana wind event early next week, likely strongest and driest on Tuesday. This is currently the most likely scenario, but there are small but present chances of either a strong event or a weak event, and a very outside chance that the trough tracks along the coast and brings cooler and wetter weather. There will be more to come on this forecast as we get better guidance later this week. Large fire potential will remain low through Thursday due to light winds and very benign weather conditions. Fire potential will then increase at least a little over Southern California on Friday and Saturday. Weather conditions will not rise to high-risk levels, but elevated fire weather conditions are likely in favored offshore wind-prone areas. And then, while none have been designated as of yet, the development of high-risk significant fire potential is distinctly possible Monday and Tuesday next week if moderate or strong Santa Ana wind event develops. Fire spread concerns would be most concentrated from eastern Ventura County and southward due to the lack of seasonal rains in those areas so far this season. Most fuel types are expected to be receptive in those areas early next week. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be on Thursday, December 5th. Have a fantastic day.